Established in 1944, the Blind Relief Association, Delhi, has been serving in the field of education, vocational training, and rehabilitation for the visually challenged for over 7 decades. The association runs a residential senior secondary school for blind boys and a teachers training college preparing special educators for visually impaired as well. The training programs serve even for those who have missed out or dropped out of school education and prepare them to gain employment and become economically independent. 1 year residential vocational skill training program was introduced in 2013 to address the needs of adult blind people who, for some reason or others, missed out on school education or dropped out on marginally educated. The basic approach of being holistic experimental learning is that the training program goes beyond the teaching skills. The trainees are given the exposure to diverse their skills so that they can recognize their capabilities and potential to perform different tasks with understanding. Special efforts are made to hone their personality through soft skill training and participation in co curricular activities.
Trainees desirous to pursue education are given all encouragement and every support in completing school education as private candidates. They are helped in learning Braille and provided study material in audio and Braille format. Skill-related production work is an important element of this training program. This prepares them to gain experience in factory-like situation. They are also taught making home and cottage industry products like soap, wadi, mongori, incense stick with the intention that they could start a small-scale production activity at home. Making carry bags in different sizes, envelopes, notebooks, folders, and operations like folding, pressing, eyeletting, packaging, labeling, stitching, papers, etc. The products made by the trainees are then put on sale by the association. Making different sizes of candles involving cleaning the mold, threading the dye, melting and fixing wax into molds, finishing the candles, packaging and then labeling. Basic massage will include the basic head and foot massage for relaxations, their pressure point techniques and the use of aroma oils. includes their operating of sewing machines, both which are paddle operated as well as power operated. Straight stitching, making products like pouches, nags with zips, dusters, cushion covers, etc. Reading and writing in Hindi and English braille.
Finding employment continues to be a challenge, especially in respect to those who have no education. The association is working hard to convince the potential employers to look beyond the physical handicap and accept the skill and capability of our trainees. We are hopeful that our society will become more aware and inclusive of such psychological barriers which will not hinder the employment of our trainees in open market. Now we are going to talk to Mr. A. David for more insight about the organization.
Okay, the Blind Relief Association is an organization, NGO registered under the society, and it started in 1944. The basic aim of the organization is working in three areas: education, vocational training, and services. Okay, vocational training is going to be core of our own services because the education, being education, it's easier for them to get education in Delhi and in and around Delhi. Vocational training is a thing where the boys or the trainees who are not able to complete the education for various reasons. We have a bouquet of training programs like ITA training program for 1 year, which is supported by Board of Technical Education, Government of Delhi. We also do multi-skill training where we train them in more than one skill, a bouquet of skills, so that they, when they go out for employment, and they can get either employment or become a micro enterprise person. Okay, and in that multi-skill we teach them with the paper bag making, candle making, massage, also chair caning, soap making, sewing, and even a music also, part of the vocal and instrumental music we teach them. The trainees, the kind of trainees which we get normally are from a remote part of UP Bihar, and they are not well educated. Some of them will not be in school also. So when they come to us, we counsel them, and then we try to give them we put them in a different training program for a short or a longer time period, 6 months or 1 year training duration. Since we have so much experience in vocational education, we keep on changing the course or the vocational training program or the contains as per the industry or the requirement of industry in related to employment and related things, because you can't have one single training program for all kind of a training program for a longer time, because it has to be changed because the need and this market also keeps on changes. So we try to we change the things according to the market needs and employment needs. Now, the basic aim of all this vocational training program first is to make them a good human being, a confident human being, because there is a part like we train them on orientation mobility skills, because it's a very integral part of a blind person, to move around independently. So by virtue of learning mobility, they learn to take a public transport like bus, metros, and any railways. They learn to travel independently here and there, and that becomes a con. And of course, we have an employment unit where we try to get them employment in the open industry. Because once you get the employment, then they start earning, and then they start supporting. Our experience also shows that there are many boys who are supporting their family also. Vice versa, it's the other way around. Like family support is required. But in that case, they become so confident in the earning members and they start supporting their family also. And we also encourage them to learn Braille and try to complete their education on the class 10th and 12th examinations while doing their course here itself. And so we encourage them, and as I said, it's overall development of a human being rather than single skill based. We try to our level best to bring that to complete development.
Sir, when you were setting up the multi-skill training program, it was being set up for a year. So what was your agenda for a year-long program like that, and what are the objectives you wanted to achieve?
Well, let me first start with the objective, then agenda. Principal objective was that so far we have been conducting skill training programs focused on a particular skill. And these programs were of shorter duration. What we thought that for a visually challenged person, it would be much more beneficial if he or she is exposed to a variety of skills where they can use their hands, their feet, and varieties of operations, so that they get to know what their potential as human being is. You can see from the variety of skills that we teach here, we have book binding and paper craft, we have candle making, then we have chair caning, which was at one time was very popular, then it became out of fashion. We brought it back because it all helps in tuning or honing your skills using your fingers and hands. And then we introduced sewing machine, where you can use your feet also and both your hands. So with these varieties of experience, we thought they can understand what all potential they have as human beings to use their hands and feet and all their skills. Then why we had this long 1 year program is that while they are here, they experience our campus is a very, very lively campus. We have from time to time various events and other things. The kind of exposure they get here, it will be difficult to find in any skill training center, ordinary skill training center. It's much more than skill training center. For example, most of our trainees, they are very marginally educated, or they have their school dropouts. So we encourage them that they should continue their education also. And that way again we start teaching them. If they have not learned Braille, we try to help them out. If they want to sit for open school examination, we help them out. So we try to make them not a single purpose machine, but a person who can use his skill or his body in a variety of ways. We have for example, as you know, we have introduced, we teach also a bit of massage also to them. So this is what, if you say, you can say it's a holistic approach and something like Bunyadi Talim of Mahatma Gandhi.
Sir, another question to you would be that how has the corporate funding actually helped you in the multi-skill training program, since we're talking specifically about it?
Well, as a matter of fact, this is a very important program for us, the Blind Relief Association, and we are not getting any grant for running the vocational training program here. Obviously, we need support, and in fact, we had first started with using our existing programs and existing programs like, for example, we have candle making, book binding, massage. But then as we got the corporate funding, we introduced many things, services like braille teaching and trying to help them out in various ways, and soap making and all these activities. The corporate funding is very important for NGOs like ours. We survive, we work, whatever we are able to do, we do with the help of funding from society, and corporate funding has come out a new source from where we can get all these services supported by. Thank you, Mercer, for believing in us and appreciating what we are trying to do, and thanks a lot for the support you have extended it to us.
The association offers other services such as production of study material in braille and audio recording books for the visually challenged for the free of cost. It also supports its trainees to complete 10th standard examination as private candidates through CBSE Delhi board. At BRA, we are constantly striving to ensure that persons with physically challenged, especially the blind, are not marginalized due to physical impairment and are rightfully integrated into the mainstream useful member of our society.
आप लोग थोड़ा सा हमें अपने बारे में बताओ और आप कहाँ से हो और आप यहाँ पे कैसे आए?
मेरा नाम हरदेव पंडित है। मैं रांची झारखंड का निवासी हूँ और मैं पिछले साल 19 मार्च को बुक वेंडिंग मल्टी स्किल सेक्शन में एडमिशन कराया था। इनसे पहले मैं साइटेड था और मैं 2012 तक नॉर्मल स्कूल से पढ़ाई किया। धीरे धीरे लाइट चली गई 2013 में 11 फरवरी को। अचानक रात को सोया और सुबह में जो भी बची खुची लाइट थी वो चली गई। डॉक्टरी इलाज में मुझे 4 साल समय लग गया और मैं पहली बार 2015 में मैं जमशेदपुर में एक NGO थी समर्थनम नाम की, उसमें मैं एडमिशन कराया था और उसमें 2 महीना की मैं ट्रेनिंग ली थी जो गेम वगैरह होती है उसकी। फिर उन्होंने मुझे BRA का एड्रेस वगैरह दिए। मैं फिर 2016 को यहाँ फिर पहुँचा मार्च महीना में और यहाँ मुझे जैसे कि मैं घर में था तो मैं बैठे रहता था, कुछ करता नहीं था और मैं BRA आने के बाद काफ़ी कुछ सीख चुका हूँ और सीख रहा भी हूँ।
जी, मेरा नाम अरुण है। मैं रांची से आया हूँ 25 जनवरी को यहाँ BRA। तो मैं यहाँ के काफ़ी कुछ सीख रहा हूँ। घर में था तो मैं खाली बैठा था, यहाँ पे आके मुझे कुछ अच्छा लग रहा है। यहाँ पे सर सारी सीख रहा हूँ, मतलब काम वगैरह, क्रिकेट खेलना।
डिप्रेशन में चले जाते हैं अचानक लेट ब्लाइंड होने के बाद, तो पर कठिनाइयाँ तो इस प्रकार पहले तो चलने फिरने की होती है। दूसरी बात कहीं बाहर जाने में वो हिचकिचाते हैं।
तो आप हमें यहाँ पे अपनी दिनचर्या के बारे में बताइए थोड़ा बहुत।
यहाँ पे आके काफ़ी कुछ सीख रहे हैं, जैसे कि रामाशय सर स्टिक के सहारे हम कहीं भी घूमने जा सकते हैं।
हमारी दिनचर्या जैसे कि सुबह में हम 5 बजे उठते हैं और अपना दैनिक क्रिया करते हैं 6, साढ़े 6, 7 बजे तक और 7, साढ़े 7 बजे से हम आधा घंटा न्यूज़ सुनते हैं 8 बजे तक जो गोल्ड में आती है। फिर हम नाश्ते के लिए जाते हैं और नाश्ते में जाने के बाद फिर वापस आते हैं नाश्ते से, फिर अपने तैयार होके फिर वापस क्लास में 9 बजे न्यूज़ क्लास में जाते हैं। फिर 10, साढ़े 9 बजे से हमारी ब्रेल क्लास होती है जिसमें JPM सीनियर सेकेंडरी हाई स्कूल के नेगी सर पढ़ाते हैं ब्रेल 1 घंटा 10:30 तक। फिर अपने अपने क्लास में जाते हैं और 1 बजे हमारी लंच होती है और 2 बजे लंच बंद होने के बाद फिर वापस क्लास में जाते हैं और 5 बजे छुट्टी होती है। फिर हम 1 घंटा आपस में बातचीत करते हैं क्लास में कैसा रहा हमारा दिन और फिर 6 बजे से थोड़ा ग्राउंड में घूमते हैं। उसके बाद जिसको जो इच्छा 7 बजे खाना खाने के बाद घूमना हो, किसी को खेलना हो, किसी को गाना सुनना हो, वो अपना काम करते हैं और फिर 9 से 10 बजे तक हम ब्रेल की दोबारा रिवीजन करते हैं। ब्रेल किस प्रकार का हमें बुक देखते हैं, कोई लिखते हैं।
The subject of blindness and education has included involving approaches and public perception of how the best to address the special needs of blind people.
The The Blind Relief Association is now being a home to hundreds of trainees that are now being aided in their pursuits by a team of professionals who train them in their alternative skills. During this period, they are not only trained but they build a new home for themselves, a new identity, and start believing in their pursuits.